What is up, everybody? In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you a framework that I call the 3 L's. The 3 L's of nutrition are there to help you with weight loss and more fat loss. So if you don't know how to build your meals properly for overall weight management, better fueling throughout your day, more energy, and ultimately greater fat loss, then this video is for you. I've helped hundreds of clients achieve their weight loss goals, and these are some of the simple frameworks that are effective for helping them reach their goals. I want to share them with you because I believe health is our greatest asset that we have. So if you are not sure how to prepare your meals well to fight off snacking, to fight off hunger that comes shortly after a meal, to increase your metabolism, and if you want to build meals that are going to support your weight loss and fat loss goals and your health goals, keep watching. I got a good one for you. The very first L I want to talk to you about today is to lead with lean protein. Now let me start this off with a caveat. We must have healthy fats. They are crucial for our nutritional needs. Healthy fats do so many things in the body. They help us build cell membranes. They help us with our hormones. They help us absorb fat-soluble vitamins. They help us stay feeling full between meals. So we gotta have fats. But one of the most common mistakes that I see is people eat too many fats in the day. One of the most common mistakes I see is that people eat too many fats in the day. And if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to drop body fat, you have to reduce calories. Every gram of protein has 4 calories. Every gram of carbohydrate has 4 calories. A gram of fat has 9 calories. So if the fats go too high, the calories go too high, and it is very difficult to lose weight. So a common mistake is having meals that have too many fats in them, even if they're all good fats and good intentions. So with that out the way, we know we need fats, we gotta have them. The reason why we're going back to this lead with lean protein focus is that it is so much easier to build meals that support weight loss when you start with lean protein. Lean protein sources include things like chicken, chicken thighs, ground turkey, lots of seafood, cod, salmon, shrimp, scallops. Go for your low mercury seafood here, trout, things like that. Then you have all the lower fat dairy products, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. You have protein shakes. Most of them, like whey shakes, will be high in protein, minimal in the added fats. They qualify as a lean protein. You have things like pork tenderloin. Other lean protein sources include red meat, 90% and above ground beef, leaner cuts of steak, top sirloin, top round, flank steak, hanger steak, sirloin flap or bavette, one of my favorites, a tenderloin. All these red meat cuts that are a lot leaner are great options. So when you focus on lean protein, you have tons of options out there for you. What we're excluding is things like ribeyes, pork sausage, pork shoulder, some of those fattier cuts of meat that make it a lot more difficult to keep your fats in check for a meal. New York strips would fall into this category. Too many whole eggs would fall into this category. If you're chasing protein goals for a meal and trying to get your protein up and you're doing it with eggs and ribeyes, it is very difficult to keep your fats in check. So with this simple rule of leading with lean protein, a few things happen. Number one, if you have like a chicken breast, let's use that as an example for your meals, then you start out with a medium to large chicken breast and it is a lean protein, so every ounce of that chicken breast has lots of protein with minimal fats. This is gonna get your protein intake up for the meal. Most people, when you're building meals and you're starting out with weight loss and fat loss, you need to get your protein up. You need to meet your daily protein goals. That's traditionally 30 to 50 grams of protein for a main meal, depending on your starting weight and how many meals you're having. It's very easy to do that with a lean protein source like chicken breast or 90% above ground turkey. It's super simple to do and you're not adding in a bunch of extra fats. Having that protein goals met for your meal is gonna do some crucial things for you. Number one, chicken breast or ground turkey, there's a lot of chewing involved with that. Chewing is tightly linked to satiety. Having that lean protein to start your meal helps shut off hunger in the brain. The other thing protein does is it supports muscle mass, so you're gonna have that lean toned look when you get down to your goal weight, and protein is going to increase your metabolic rate. When you eat protein, you have a high thermic effect. What this means is that it's just ramping up your metabolism a little bit more than it would to break down carbs or fat. So this main portion of lean protein at meals not only helps you feel more full and more satisfied, speeds up your metabolic rate, helps you meet your daily protein goals, but also shuts off hunger more quickly. And it's so crucial because just starting out with clients, they're not sure what to do for their food. I see a lot of people not even having protein in their meals. They'll eat oatmeal for breakfast and there's no protein in there. It's just carbohydrates. Or lunchtime might be some beans and some veggies, and that's great, all healthy foods. but we gotta have some protein present. Or if you eat pizza at dinner, it's cheese. Yeah, there's a little bit of protein in there, but it's mostly fats and carbs when you're commonly eating pizza. You gotta start with some lean protein, throw some chicken on a salad, start with that first, then have a couple slices of pizza or one slice of pizza. This is gonna be so much better for your nutrition goals and your weight loss targets. So the two questions you can ask when you set up to a meal and you really wanna get better at your meal composition for body composition and fat loss and weight loss, there's two really cool questions you can ask. Number one, before you order anything, before you sit down to prepare dinner, ask, what's my lean protein source? Get clarity on that first. And this is what I call a protein first mentality. If you approach your meals with a protein first mentality, I promise you, you're gonna start winning. More energy, more fullness, less snacking, less grazing, and overall, and eventually, more weight loss. The second L is what I call lots of veggies. If you're not losing weight, you're not dropping body fat, it's likely that you're eating too many carbs and fat. Yes, you gotta get your protein in check, but generally you're eating too many carbs and fats. So the first rule of lean protein helps with reducing the total fat intake, but lots of veggies is super important for a lot of reasons. Veggies do so many things for us. They give us tons of filling fiber. We actually feel more full. We gotta chew it a lot. Again, chewing is linked to satiety. So having that fiber helps us feel more full and satisfied, helps us slow down the absorption of our food over time to where we feel full and satisfied for longer after eating. This is gonna help cut down on grazing and snacking. That's usually where the carbs and extra fats are coming in when we eat 90 minutes after a main meal. So have those veggies in there, it's gonna keep you full longer. You can avoid some of those snacks and junk calories coming later. But veggies are nutrient dense. They contain a lot of micronutrients. Yes, we get plenty of micronutrients from the protein sources we eat, the red meat that gives us zinc and iron and B vitamins, the chicken and turkey and eggs that give us tons of choline and other nutrients, but we get lots of nutrients from veggies as well. We get a lot of antioxidants from veggies as well. There are some theories out there that when you get enough nutrients, micronutrients in your meals, what it does is it plugs any holes and deficiencies in your nutrition and it makes your metabolic rate run more efficiently, faster, burning more calories more easily. You're clearing toxins from the body more efficiently. We get exposed to these environmental toxins all day long, and there's some thoughts that having enough antioxidants present from colorful fruits and veggies in our meals is going to neutralize those toxins and help the body expel them more easily. And when we do that, we speed up our metabolic rate. And then you got the benefits of certain veggies like the cruciferous veggies, the Brussels, the kale, the cabbage. Those have sulforaphane in there, things that help lock on to dead and damaged cells and get rid of them from the body. You got things like broccoli that have compounds that help us get rid of excess estrogen in the body and keep a better hormone balance. You have things like beets that increase blood flow. Those dark leafy greens that give us magnesium and other crucial micronutrients. So you really want to have a spectrum of veggies. A few cool thoughts here to help you develop this is set yourself what I call the veggie standard. At least 2 meals per day with 2 fistfuls of veggies in each one of those meals. That means at a bare minimum, you're getting 4 fistfuls of veggies a day, and make sure you eat the rainbow. Have a ton of colors within those veggies. That means more antioxidants, a variety of nutrients, and overall gives you more nutrient density. Eat some veggies cooked, eat some veggies raw. Cooking is gonna destroy some nutrients, but it liberates others. A perfect example of this is tomatoes. The most powerful antioxidant in there is called lycopene. We actually absorb more lycopene when those tomatoes are stewed over long periods of time. So think chili or marinara. You'll get more of that antioxidant when they're cooked. So don't overthink it here, but just eat some veggies cooked, eat some raw, eat the rainbow, and at a minimum, include them in 2 meals a day in 2 fistfuls at each of those meals. Okay, so if you follow the first 2 L's, lead with lean protein, have lots of vegetables, you're already winning. You're already gonna win for fat loss and weight loss and a much healthier diet that's gonna help you with lots of factors downstream for your health. If we load up on those first 2, there's literally not a lot of room left for too many carbs or too many fat. And so you're building in these natural backstops for yourself that are gonna help you feel full and satisfied, help you feel energized throughout the day, help you fight cravings, snacking, and grazing. You're gonna have the nutrition you need as well. But the third L might be the most important. It's gonna be the one that's gonna help you a ton. And that is what I call leave light yet satisfied. How often do you find yourself overstuffed, uncomfortable after meals? It's like you're eating so fast, you don't even remember what you ate, you blow past natural hunger cues, and before you know it, you're just going for this feeling of comfort, overstuffed, like you can't move. Yeah, we might have been told, finish your plate, you can't have dessert. That can play a role in this. We might have been told, hey, you can't go outside and play until you finish your plate or eat your veggies. So we're eating until we're overstuffed and uncomfortable. Instead, I want you to think about eating until you're about a 3 out of 5 on fullness. 5 is overstuffed, 1 is starving, 3 is light yet satisfied. Imagine if you ate your meals and you walked away feeling light yet satisfied. Almost like you could go for a light jog and you felt fine. So if you're following those first 2 rules of leading with protein and lots of veggies, there's a little bit of room left for some quality carbohydrates from whole foods here. Maybe you do add some healthy fat, but we're doing it in a way that helps you walk away from the meal feeling light yet satisfied. And if you have to leave some carbs on your plate to do this, go for it. That's the best thing to leave. You know, you want to eat that protein and veggies first, leave a little bit of carbs on your plate. That's fine to walk away light and satisfied. But I want to give you a few more tips on how to hit that 3 out of 5 effectively. The biggest challenge is eating too quickly. We've all eaten too quickly. We blow past natural hunger cues. Maybe you're an athlete and you're trying to gain size when you're in high school and you just trained yourself to eat real quickly. The reason why it was effective is because it literally does take about 20 minutes for your brain to accurately measure fullness. So when we eat real fast, we literally blow past hunger signals and we can eat way more food. And when we're just trying to get weight up for sports back in the day, works really effectively. Now today, when you're trying to lose weight, not so great. So the trick is to slow down your eating. This one helps big time. We don't have to overthink this too much. There's no magic number of chews or anything like that. But what I want you to do is pause before you eat. I want you to set an intention to eat mindfully and chew thoroughly. If you eat mindfully and you chew each bite thoroughly, not only are you going to extract more nutrients from your food because we're not inhaling it without chewing, not only are you going to get more satisfaction from the meal because you're actually tasting it and you're present with the meal, but it's going to help you tap into those natural fullness signals a lot more quickly. It's going to help you slow down the eating. A few other great tips you can do: put the fork down, have a few sips of water, just take your time eating. You don't have to just eat constantly until the meal is over. But with simple tips to slow down the eating, it's going to help you walk away at that 3 out of 5 on fullness a lot more effectively and control your overall calorie intake. There's other reasons why this really helps. There's been some studies on the expectation effect of how food makes us feel satisfied. If we eat a meal and we're literally doing email and responding to text messages while we're eating, we are forgetting how much food we actually ate. The brain just doesn't register how many calories are in it, and we actually get hungry more quickly after eating. So when I say eat mindfully, it really means protect and prioritize mealtime. If you don't have 10 minutes, you don't have a life, is what Tony Robbins says. And I like to think about this for food. If we don't have 10 minutes to protect and prioritize our mealtime, then we don't have a life, because that 10 minutes of a meal that's well built, well balanced, gives us the fuel we need, is going to give us 5 to 6 hours or more of uninterrupted productivity. So think about that ROI. That's huge. So if you can protect and prioritize mealtime, and you can actually step away from the devices, maybe not eat behind the wheel of a car that's barreling down the highway and sending out text messages at the same time or reading stressful emails, that meal is going to leave you feeling more satisfied. If you're present and protecting mealtime, you're actually going to remember how much food you ate, and not only are you going to hit that 3 out of 5 on fullness now because you're eating mindfully, you're going to actually eat less food later because you're going to feel satisfied for longer. Let's say you're doing a steak dinner and you do a ribeye, and you have a small side salad with dressing and a little bit of cheese on it, and then maybe you have a baked potato with a little bit of butter. You have protein, you have veggies in the salad, and you have quality carbs with the potato, and it's a great meal. But if you think about it, the ribeye is going to have easy 40-50 grams of fat, depending on how big it is. Then you have the salad that has salad dressing. There's 2 tablespoons of dressing on there and some cheese. You have more fats there. And then let's say maybe you put a little bit, like a tablespoon of butter on the baked potato. All these foods are great. There's nothing wrong with any of these foods by themselves. But if your goal is fat loss and weight loss, those fats in that meal are going to be really high for your weight loss and calorie needs. Most likely that that meal might even have half of your daily intake of fats or more. So depending on what you ate the rest of the day leading up to it, it's really going to be a challenge for you to lose the body fat and to drop the weight. So a simple solution at this very same meal would be to focus on that lean protein. Lead with lean protein. So maybe you have a chicken breast to start first. That cuts the fats way down compared to a ribeye. Or maybe if you want some red meat, go with the tenderloin, grass-fed tenderloin. Do that. Now you have the greens in your side salad with the dressing on top. There's a room for the fats in the dressing. There's even room for fats with a little bit of butter on the baked potato. You've just fixed the meal in a big way. So you're leading with protein, you're including lots of veggies, and then you're walking away from the meal light and satisfied. You're using these 3 L's to keep you fueled, to keep you focused throughout the day, and to help you with your weight loss and fat loss goals. And I want to talk about one other example on how this works so well. I have a few clients who really say that salads help them a lot on feeling full and not wanting to snack, especially if they do them at dinner. They don't want to snack the rest of the night. If you think about what a salad is, for the most part, a salad is some sort of protein, shrimp, chicken, beef, salmon, on top of tons of veggies and greens, tons of fiber. There's lots of chewing involved in there because you got to chew all the veggies, carrots, cucumber, lettuce. You got to chew the protein source, shrimp, chicken, whatever it is, and you have lean protein to lead with, you have lots of veggies, and that meal by itself is going to keep you satisfied for a very long time and kill cravings. But the biggest example I see of people that are well-meaning, and to talk about how calories from fats can get really out of hand, that salad could be salmon on top of a bed of greens with lots of colors. So you got radish, you got some beets, you got sprouts in there, maybe you got some carrot, cucumber, really good nutrient-dense salad, whatever you like to put in there for veggies. But then the fats start to get out of control. The fats come from a little bit from the salmon. Those are good, healthy omega-3s. We need those. But then you add too much dressing, so the fats get out of control there. There's an oil-based dressing added. Then we add avocado. The fats get even higher. Then add maybe nuts or seeds to this, pumpkin seed, walnut, pistachios, cashews, whatever you're adding. And then you add some cheese, goat cheese, feta, any kind of cheese that you're adding is going to increase the fats as well. And so now you had this great salad, meat and veggies, and then the fats got way out of control from all these different fat sources. The first step to just controlling your intake is focusing on that lean protein. And then you want to load up those veggies because that's what's going to keep you feeling full. And lastly, you just want to think about how many fats am I getting, because usually too many fats are what killing people's progress for fat loss and weight loss. I hope this framework helped. And if you want to have more frameworks just like this, subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.